the binding of the wolf. Now, I'm going to assume that most of you, the extent of your Norse knowledge is just the Marvel movies about Thor. And Thor isn't in my story today, but we have characters like Odin, Fenrir, Loki is mentioned, and Tyr, who is one of the Aesir. Long ago, when magnificent beasts still prowled the earth, the Norse gods ruled, and Odin was one of these gods. He had just returned home to Asgard after a long absence, and his return was celebrated with a great feast. As he sat down at the table, he realized that he hadn't heard Loki's annoying voice all day. Now, instead of wondering why he was gone, he went straight into scheming. What could he do in Loki's absence? And it hit him. He realized that this would be the perfect opportunity to get rid of Loki's vile children. So he rounded them all up and imprisoned them. Midgard, Loki's first child, was a great serpent, and he imprisoned him in a giant moat. Over the years, Midgard's tail soon grew so long that the only place left for it to grow was down his own throat. Loki's second child, a witch, was placed under the care of Urd, the guardian of the underworld, and there she stayed. Fenrir, Loki's third child, was a giant wolf, and he was placed under the care of Tyr, one of Asgard's strongest. Over the years, Fenrir grew stronger, and Tyr soon had a hard time containing him. Odin knew something had to be done, so he went to the smithies in Asgard and asked for their strongest chains, and he took these to Fenrir. He began taunting him, saying, "You won't be able to break through the strongest chains in Asgard." Now, if Fenrir had a weakness, it would be how much he cherished his strength. And when someone directly insulted it, well, they had it coming. So he told Odin to bind him with the chains, and he would break right through them. So Odin and Tyr wrapped the chains around Fenrir, and ha! He broke right through the chains. Odin went back to the smithies in Asgard and asked for even stronger chains, and he took these back to Fenrir and began taunting him again, saying, "You won't be able to break through these chains. They're even stronger than the last ones." Fenrir agreed to be bound up again, so Odin and Tyr wrapped the chains around Fenrir, and ha! He broke right through the chains again. Odin realized that he'd have to get something stronger than what Asgard could produce. So he went to the Dark Elves and told them of his plight. They soon began gathering ingredients that seemed almost impossible to find, like the footfalls of a cat, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the breath of a fish, and the spittle of birds. And they took these ingredients and combined them into one magical cord. Odin took this cord to Fenrir and began taunting him again. Now, Fenrir was pretty annoyed at this point, but he agreed to be bound up one last time, just so he could show off. So Odin and Tyr wrapped the cord around Fenrir, and he couldn't break through the cord. He tried again and again and again, but he just couldn't. And he realized the more he struggled, the tighter the bonds became, and he began to thrash about in panic. Odin backed up, fearing that he would get hurt, but Tyr, he was a brave man, and he knew he had to subdue the wolf. So he slowly crept forward, reached out his hand, and chomp! Fenrir bit his hand right off. But he was a strong man, and he knew he had to stop the wolf. So, while Fenrir was distracted, he knocked him unconscious. Odin and Tyr took Fenrir to a dark cave on a rocky, secluded island and imprisoned him there. And there he stayed until Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. So Asgard was safe, for now.